There we go. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? How are we doing? Can you hear me, random? Let us know. I'm hoping it does anyway. Oh, what a nice break this is. Oh, I'm so comfortable actually. So I've got, so you can see me here. I'm sat out in my garden. I've got a sleeping Freddy here. Got my Guinness Clear. And yeah, just got nothing but time. Oh, so how are we all? I know it's going to be a bit more of a intimate stream, but that's kind of what this is all about anyway. This is really for me just to get away from the sim rig, give you guys a little bit of a, you know, an opportunity to hang out, really, to be quite honest. And even if it's just me rambling rubbish for an hour or so, what it does is it gives you guys something that others don't have, in some sort of repayment for, you know, going above and beyond like you all do, really. So who have we got in the chat? God, this feels like a way back when stream. Can you hear me, random? All right, I'm hoping you can. I've got it on the old laptop mic anyway. But yeah, I just think this is going to be a nice thing to do. Really, it allows me to, again, as I say, have the interaction with you guys. I appreciate it's 12 o'clock on, well, UK time. It's 12 o'clock on a Wednesday, so not quite sort of prime time. But I've got an hour, so I want to use this hour and dedicate it to you guys. So, so yeah, I didn't really have anything planned, to be honest. I suppose I might as well give a little bit of like a channel update of where I am and where everything is in my head, to be quite honest with you, because the channel, well, there's been a lot going on in my life really recently. There's been a few things. Sort of, it started back in last October, where I got myself a better job. So all the time outside of YouTube, I've always been really quite career driven. I've always wanted to get to the top level in absolutely everything, whether that be sport, whether that be, you know, anything like university or whatever. And when I left and became like a professional, that didn't change at all. So I've always wanted to get to the top level at work. And I thought, oh yeah, having loads of money, having a nice car, having a nice house is what makes, you know, what makes a person and what makes a man, really. So I got that. So I got that job that I wanted, and it was where I went from manager level up to what we call head of level. So underneath, oh, Freddie's making a noise. So if I do have to go, I'll be back. So yeah, there was. So I got to head of level, which is above manager, but below director, and director's kind of like the top level. And so with that, I ended up working longer. I obviously had the YouTube stuff going on. Erin was heavily pregnant at this time in October, and it really, really ate into my free time. And I thought that being a head of, you know, was enough for me for then, but I still hadn't quite got there, and I hadn't got to where I wanted to go. And then an opportunity came up in March, literally as Freddie was being born, as my manager, who was the director who brought me into the business, then left the company, and they wanted me to then take over and be the director. Now the department wasn't in the greatest of places. That's why the director left in the first place. And despite Aaron's warnings, I saw, my ambition, my goal was there. Right, there goes a big pay rise, Rory. You get the status, you get all this sort of stuff. And I took the job. I took the job in March. It probably wasn't the greatest move in hindsight, because what that did is that meant, well, I thought it meant, I could just tell everyone what to do, to be quite honest. Far from it. What that means is all the rubbish comes to you. And, I found myself working throughout my paternity. I was working, so I wasn't around as much as I wanted to be during that critical time. I was doing sort of 12 to 14-hour days just to, tread water. There was no, job satisfaction or anything like that. And I remember I had a conference call at 8:30 on a Friday night. That's no, that's no life. It doesn't matter how much money you earn or anything like that. If you can't be around for your family, then something's not right. The phrase, you work to live, not live to work, is something that is massive. So to cut a long story short, I told the business that no, I didn't want to do it anymore. There was some strategic stuff going on. So we delivered a service one way. Oh, sorry, it's not the table. But I wanted to deliver it another way. And basically, what we do is you give like a paper. You write like a business case to the top people in the business. I wrote a paper saying, right, this is the way I'd like to do it. They did not listen to, or they did not heed what I wanted. So at that level, you strategically say, right, it's not a good fit. I can't champion the way that they wanted to work. So in a nutshell, I handed in my notice about 2 weeks ago on that, which everyone's probably thinking you're absolutely mad, especially at this time of, with everything going on. But you got to do so. I was getting stressed out. You probably what you guys see, if you think back to probably the last 3 months on the channel, the videos, they've been really quite sporadic. They've been quite negative, etc., etc. And that is because of how I was in real life, really. So because of that in real life, I had to make a change. But I didn't know. It's good because whilst I don't see it as a failure, I think it's good because I didn't have that perspective, and you can't have that perspective